I wanted to talk about HGTV for a second because every morning that I have ever lived with my mom throughout my life, I've gone downstairs to eat my breakfast and HGTV is on the TV. And every morning these days, my mom and I both cringe and feel real anger about what these designers are doing to these houses. Why do we still watch it? I don't know. Maybe my mom is just holding on hope that she'll gain at least some little piece of inspiration from watching these shows. And we used to love it so much. My mom, my sister, and I all love interior design, and we used to eat those shows up back in like the early 2010s. But my theory is that HGTV didn't suddenly get worse over time. I think we all just got a little bit more design literate. But what is it about HGTV shows that captivated us so much back then? And why does it continue to have this effect on millions of people when the design is so bad? Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new, my name's Phoebe. When I decided to make this video, I kind of had a feeling that surely someone else had already talked about this on YouTube before. I feel like there are a lot of us who are passionate about interior design who are now collectively kind of getting really frustrated and confused and angry about why this style of renovation and flipping has become so popular and is running so rampant. So I had a feeling someone else has already talked about the effect of HGTV and these kinds of renovations on us and on design. So I searched the HGTV effect on YouTube, and sure enough, the one and only Paige Wassel made a video on this about 2 years ago. She actually in her video covered an article that was published by The Atlantic that was called, I think, the HGTV-ification of America. And that and Paige mainly talked about the money side of things, the flipping houses very cheaply using cheap finishes in order to resell them quickly and make a profit. But what about all of the shows on HGTV where that isn't the main goal? What about all of the shows where real families hand over the keys to their new home so that these professional designers can floor to ceiling renovate the houses just how they like, just how they want it to be? Because this isn't for reselling purposes right away. This is for a specific family to live in. Why do those houses come out just as bad? And why do these homeowners still cry tears of joy when they see the result? And even more confusing, why did I used to love these shows? It should be clear to all of us by now that HGTV is a business, and literally the main goal of these designers are to renovate these houses as cheaply as possible, and the result is spaces with cheap materials. But my question is, why did we all fall for it? Why did this cheap as hell style become what everyone viewed as up-to-date, modern, and trendy? So back to my first question, why do these houses designed for specific homeowners come out just as bad as the profit-seeking flip houses? The designers should be able to make more nuanced choices, more choices with character that are tailored to the specific family, right? Well, not really. My guess is that since HGTV, again, is a business, relying on designers to meet quotas and deadlines, there's probably a very quick turnaround time between when the keys are handed over to the designers and when the reveal takes place. And I know for a fact that these designers are working on several other houses at the same time. I really highly doubt that they actually have ample time to sit down with the family and get to the bottom of their personal taste and what kind of design would suit their personal daily lives and reflect their own style. And ultimately, the homeowners aren't even the only clients in this endeavor. Yes, the designers have to design for the homeowners, but they also have to design for the audience. They may not need to appeal to a mass crowd of potential buyers the way they do when they're doing a flip house, but they do need to appeal to a mass crowd of viewers. HGTV, once again, is a giant business, and it's an entertainment business, not a design business. Yes, these designers are real interior designers, but they work for HGTV. And I get the feeling that the expectation is that they work for the entertainment company first and the clients second. In fact, of course they do.
Good morning. After the big reveal of the home renovation here, the cameras stopped rolling. It was then Dina Murphy and Timothy Sullivan claimed that despite despite it appearing TV ready, a closer look revealed a very different reality. They filed a lawsuit against the contractor and the Canadian company Big Coat TV that produces the show. The couple claims the renovations were disastrous, alleging their $140,000 was essentially used to create a stage set for this television series.
Okay, so why then, if these houses are so bad, do the families all still cry tears of joy when they see the reveal? And I think the reason is that most clients on this network are not people who care about design. And that might sound kind of weird and ironic considering they're on HGTV, but I do think it's true. I don't think they care about design, at least not in the way that you and I do. I think the general population can see a massive difference between old and new, between cramped and cluttered and open and airy, between dull and sleek. And that's where HGTV thrives. That is where they capitalize. They make visually drastic changes by knocking down walls, by gutting everything dated, and by bringing everything in shiny and new. And they're able to do this on such a large scale throughout the entire house because they use such cheap materials. Saving money on each change allows them to make more changes. So they skimp on the finishes in order to make more of a drastic before and after. Even though it is often better design to leave some original elements intact, to not knock down every non-load bearing wall, to allow the architecture and flow of the original home to at least inform design decisions, that's not the made for TV way to do it. That doesn't guarantee those drastically different before and after shots. Keeping as much of the original look as possible might be the best way to design a specific space, but it's not the best way to entertain the masses. People want to be satisfied by drastic before and after differences. And I think this drastic difference is what elicits that emotional response from these homeowners who don't know the ins and outs of design, aren't passionate about preservation and responding to context, but are just as satisfied by the new, sleek look as the audience is. And why did I love HGTV shows 10 years ago too? Because I was just like everyone else. I didn't learn enough about design yet to know what other styles were out there. I didn't have the awareness of what were cheaply made materials and what were sturdy, honest materials. And I hadn't gained the knowledge about design or design history that would later make me so passionate about authentic spaces that serve nuanced functions and respond to the homeowner's daily life and personal taste. It's almost as if HGTV is specifically marketed towards people who kind of like design and not people who are extremely passionate about it. And that would make perfect sense, right? Because there are way more people in the world who kind of sort of like interior design and are satisfied by those drastic before and after differences than there are people who are extremely passionate about interior design and are satisfied by small, thought out changes that take place over time. So why did these cheap, quick renovations using cheap materials become such a worldwide trend? Simply because HGTV has millions of viewers and every show carries out this same renovation formula. Same house, different font. When the CEO of HGTV, Ken Lowe, was asked about the programming strategy, he said, "We're not going to surprise you. We are not going to throw you a curveball. It's not easy to create content that people are passionate about and somewhat addicted to that is somewhat repetitive." He admittedly found a formula that works and has always intended on sticking to it. There was also a study that was covered by the Washington Post a couple years ago that found that homeowners who watched HGTV became quite uneasy about the design decisions that were made in their own home, specifically when watching the before sequences where these designers on HGTV would go through the pre-renovation space and scrutinize the crap out of it. The study found that people became kind of insecure about their own homes when they were watching HGTV. And the study even suggests that this uneasiness has led to a shift towards standardization, in which individual people in their own lives, not just designers or house flippers, are making these similar choices in order to feel like their houses are up to date. So the sheer number of HGTV shows that use this same distinct renovation and design style, combined with the sheer number of HGTV viewers, combined with the fact that this is the cheapest way to quickly flip and resell a house, and the fact that flipping houses as a money-making endeavor is rising so much in popularity, has made this style of home feel like the most trendy, up-to-date option for the general population. And now that the general population has caught on and is now willingly making these same choices in their own home, homes. This type of design has gone from a business strategy, a way to flip a house cheaply and quickly and sell it for a profit, to an actual design trend. And what a sad story that is. I've said it on this channel so many times, and I'll say it again. There are so many ways to save money and still create a space that is uniquely well designed and personal to you. Leaning into what a space can already offer you while focusing on letting your own style shine through can be just as affordable, if not more affordable, than gutting the whole thing and starting fresh with cheap materials. The reason they have to use cheap materials in those HGTV shows is because they gut so much of the original house even when they don't have to. I have a couple videos about interior design money savers that I think can actually look better, so I'll link those in the description for you guys in case you want to watch those too. Otherwise, check out Paige Wassell's video from a few years ago and let me know all of your thoughts on this in the comments. And if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to. And with that, I'll talk to you guys in a few days. Bye guys.